When she lost her way in the blizzard, she realized this was no coincidence. Nepal's first female Chief Justice, Sushila Karki, would come face to face with death in the Himalayas, where she went for vacation, and while struggling for survival, she would discover that there was a dark plan behind this accident. The terrifying nights she spent in the mountains would make her a stronger person. The intense 6 months at Nepal's Supreme Court had mentally exhausted Sushila Karki. Successive corruption cases, political pressures, constant threats. She needed a break now. "Arjun, I'm going to the mountains for a few days," she told her husband that Sunday evening. Dr. Arjun Karki put down his tea and looked at his wife. "Sushila, this is dangerous. Going to the Everest region alone." "Arjun, I used to climb mountains as a child too. I have trekking experience. Just a few days, to clear my head. But why alone? At least get a guide." Sushila smiled. Sometimes a person needs to be alone, to think. Actually, she had another reason deep down. Strange things had been happening at home and in the office lately. Her phone seemed to be tapped. She felt like someone was following her. Maybe she was paranoid, but she still wanted to be careful. "At least tell Priya where you're going." "Of course. I'll stay at Mountain View Hotel, near Namche Bazaar. From there I'll do a small trek to Everest Base Camp." Early the next morning, she completed her preparations. Professional trekking equipment, emergency bag, satellite phone. She had thought of everything. As she left Kathmandu, she saw a black car in her rearview mirror. The same car seemed to be following her. She did a few test maneuvers. Yes, she was definitely being followed. "What's this about?" she muttered to herself. When she stopped at a traffic light, she tried to see the driver of the following car. He looked familiar, but she couldn't quite make him out. After leaving the city, the following car disappeared. Maybe it was just her paranoia. The road from Kathmandu to Namche Bazaar was one of the world's most dangerous mountain roads. Narrow, winding, with cliffs on one side and steep rock walls on the other. But the scenery was breathtaking. As she drove along the road, despite the scenery's mesmerizing beauty, she began to notice disturbing details. Roadwork was being done in some places, but there were no workers, as if someone had intentionally narrowed the road. At one point there was a stop sign, but no traffic police were visible. When she stopped, a man in worker's clothing approached. "Madam, there's work on the road. You need to wait a bit." "How long will it take?" "About half an hour." The strange thing was, there were no machine sounds, no work activity visible. The man was also constantly looking at his cell phone. "Let me try to pass. I'm in a hurry." "No, madam. Very dangerous. Please wait." Sushila became suspicious. Was this a trap? The man was constantly texting on his phone, as if reporting her location somewhere. With a sudden decision, she stepped on the gas and passed by the man. Looking in her rearview mirror, she saw the man immediately pick up his phone and call someone. She reached Mountain View Hotel in the evening hours. The hotel was located just outside Namche Bazaar, in a place with magnificent views. Built with traditional Sherpa architecture, it looked warm and inviting. Hotel owner Pemba Sherpa greeted her, a middle-aged, smiling man. "Welcome, madam. Sushila Karki, right? What an honor." "Thank you. You have a beautiful place." Yes. The most beautiful view of Everest is from here. I've prepared your room." While Pemba was taking her to her room, he kept talking. But something seemed strange to Sushila. The man knew her arrival in great detail. Which car she came with, when she left, her plans. "Pembaji, I didn't give this much detail when making the reservation. How do you know so much?" Pemba hesitated for a moment. We talked on the phone, don't you remember?" But Sushila had never talked on the phone. She had made the reservation online. After settling into her room, she had dinner. During the meal, Pemba was constantly on the phone, speaking in Nepali but lowering his voice. Sushila listened carefully. Pemba was mentioning her name. "Sushila, yes, tomorrow morning. Yes, ready." This was very strange. Why was he talking about her? After dinner, she went up to her room. She locked her door, but her discomfort didn't go away. Looking out her window, she saw several people walking around the hotel. Why were they walking around at this hour of the night? She called Arjun with her satellite phone. "Arjun, strange things are happening here." "What kind of strange things?" "The hotel owner knows too much about me, and he's constantly on the phone with people." "Sushila, maybe you're exaggerating. In the mountains, everyone knows everyone." "I hope you're right." But as she was falling asleep, she heard someone touch her door handle. Very light, but she heard it clearly. Was someone checking her room? She woke up early in the morning. She prepared for trekking. Pemba suggested a special guide to her. "Madam, I found you a very good guide. Tenzin very experienced, knows Everest very well. Tenzin was a Sherpa in his 25-30s, powerfully built. But there was something strange in his eyes. He acted very friendly, but his eyes were cold. "Namaste, madam. I will show you the most beautiful route." While Sushila was putting necessary equipment in her bag, Tenzin was constantly busy with his phone. She didn't think phones would work at this altitude, but Tenzin seemed to have a special device. "Are you ready, madam?" "Yes, we can go." When they set off, Sushila checked her GPS device. The standard route to Everest Base Camp was known, but Tenzin was going in a different direction. "Tenzin, this route isn't on the map." "Madam, I know very good shortcut. Very beautiful scenery, very few tourists. But I prefer the safe route." "Don't worry, madam. I've been living in these mountains for 15 years. I can give you confidence." Sushila wasn't comfortable, but Tenzin insisted. Maybe he really knew a beautiful route. After walking for a few hours, they were in a completely unknown area. GPS signal was cut off. There were no tracks around. "Tenzin, does this road really go to base camp?" "Yes, madam, little bit further." But Tenzin's behavior had changed. He was talking less, constantly checking his phone. In the afternoon, the weather began to change. Dark clouds were gathering. Wind was strengthening. "Tenzin, the weather is getting bad. Let's go back." "No, madam, little bit more. We are very close." But the very close place they mentioned never came, and the weather was getting worse and worse. Around 3 p.m., it started snowing. At first lightly scattered, but quickly intensified. "Tenzin, we must go back now. This is dangerous." "Madam, I know shelter. We sleep there." But Sushila no longer trusted Tenzin. GPS wasn't working. No signal on her phone. No tracks. As the blizzard intensified, Tenzin suddenly stopped. "Madam, I'm very sorry. Emergency situation. My mother's sick. I must return to village." "What? You're going to leave me here alone?" "Madam, you strong woman. I marked the way. Go that direction." 2 hours later, base camp. This was nonsensical. No one would leave their tourist alone in such a storm. "Tenzin, this is very dangerous. Let's go together." "No, madam, my mother very sick. I must go fast." Tenzin took something out of his bag. It looked like an emergency signal device. "This help you. If problem, press red button." And suddenly he disappeared. He vanished in the snowstorm. Sushila was left alone. Snow was intensifying. Cold was increasing. Visibility was decreasing. This couldn't be a coincidence. Tenzin's emergency was too convenient. She checked her phone. No signal, but she had received a message. How had this message come? "Get well soon, Sushila ma'am. Hope you're enjoying your mountain vacation. A friend." Her heart stopped. No one should know about her situation yet. The snowstorm continued through the night. Sushila had built a shelter under a large piece of rock. She had lit a small campfire, trying to stay warm. At midnight, her phone rang. She didn't understand how there was a signal. "Hello? Sushila Karki?" The voice wasn't familiar, seemed electronically altered. "Yes. Who are you?" "I know where you are. I can help." "Tell me who you are first." "That's not important. What's important is your safety." "How do you know where I am?" "That's also not important. I can send you a helicopter, but I have a small request." Here it was. This was the trap. "What do you want?" "The Shakunatala construction case that will be heard in court next week. I want you to withdraw from this case." Everything became clear in Sushila's mind. Shakunatala construction was one of Nepal's biggest corruption cases. Billions of rupees in fraud, illegal construction, environmental pollution. "Who are you?" "You don't need to know that. Just withdraw from the case. Your life will be saved." "Never. Sushila Karki, dying in the mountains is very easy. No one finds the body. You can't scare me." "This isn't intimidation, it's reality. When morning comes, the storm will get even worse. No rescue team can reach you. But I can reach you. I will never withdraw from the Shakunatala construction case. Then may God have mercy on you." The line went dead. Sushila now understood everything. This wasn't an accident. This was a planned murder attempt. The powerful figures behind Shakunatala construction were trying to quietly eliminate her. Pemba Sherpa, Tenzin, fake roadwork, everything was part of this plan. But what would she do now? She was really stranded in the storm, and there was no way for help to come. When morning came, the snow had stopped, but the freezing cold continued. When Sushila came out of her shelter, her breath was freezing. Looking around, she saw an old structure in the distance. It looked like a Buddhist monastery. Maybe she could find help there. Walking in deep snow was very difficult. She was sinking up to her knees with each step, getting out of breath. But she had no other choice. On the way, she met an old shepherd. He was traveling with yaks. "Namaste, uncle. Is this monastery operating?" The old man looked at her with surprise. "What are you doing here? This is a very dangerous place. My guide abandoned me. I lost my way." "Who is your guide?" a Sherpa named Tenzin. The old man's face changed. Tenzin, that bad man. He does very bad things. What do you mean? He and his friends, they deceive tourists, take money, then abandon them. Sometimes they do worse things. How so? Last year a German tourist disappeared. Tenzin was guiding, never found. Sushila's blood froze, so this wasn't the first time. Uncle, can I find help at this monastery? Yes, Lama Norbu is there. Good man. He will help you. When she reached the monastery, an elderly monk greeted her. Lama Norbu, in his 70s, wise-looking man. Welcome, my child. You are in great difficulty. The inside of the monastery was warm and peaceful. Lama Norbu gave her hot tea, had her sit by the fire. Lama Ji, do you know a Sherpa named Tenzin in this region? The Lama's face darkened. Yes, I know him very well. Man who does bad things. What kind of bad things? Very strange things have been happening in this region in recent months. Many foreigners came. They give money to Sherpas, make them do special tasks. What kind of tasks? Taking tourists to specific places, leaving them alone. Sometimes, he hesitated. Sometimes what? Sometimes eliminating them. Sushila's heart began to race. Eliminating them. My child, you must be a very important person, because these foreigners mention your name very much. My name? Yes. Find Sushila Karki. Stop Sushila Karki, they say. Who are they? I don't know, but they scatter a lot of money. They gave Tenzin 50,000 rupees just to take you to the mountains. 50,000 rupees. This was 20 times the normal guide fee. Lamaji, is there any communication facility here? There's old radio. Sometimes we can connect to Kathmandu. With Lama Norbu's help, they operated the old radio. After many attempts, they connected to Nepal Army's emergency frequency. This is Nepal Army Emergency Center. Do you hear us? Yes, I hear you. I'm Sushila Karki, Chief Justice of Nepal Supreme Court. I'm stranded in the Everest region. I need help. Sushila Karki? Madam, we're looking for you. Your family is worried. Where are you? She gave location information. They said a rescue helicopter would come. But just then, sounds began to be heard outside the monastery. Lama Norbu looked out the window. Bad men coming. Tenzin and his friends. What do they want to do? I don't know, but they have weapons. Sushila panicked. Could they hold out until the rescue team arrived? They started knocking on the monastery door. Tenzin's voice could be heard. Lama, open the door. We're looking for the tourist woman. Lama Norbu remained calm. You hide. I'll talk to them. Sushila hid in a room at the back of the monastery. The Lama opened the door. What do you want here? Where is the woman? We know she came here. Which woman? There's no one here. Don't lie, Lama. They saw her. They tried to enter the room, but Lama Norbu blocked them. This is holy place. You cannot enter with weapons. We don't care about holy place. We'll find that woman. Just then, helicopter sounds began to come from afar. Nepal Army was coming. Tenzin panicked. Helicopter, let's run. But it was too late. The military helicopter landed. Armed soldiers came out. Hands up, nobody move. Tenzin and his gang tried to escape, but the soldiers caught them. Sushila came out of her hiding place. She was saved. On the helicopter returning to Kathmandu, Rescue Team Commander Colonel Karan Thapa explained the situation to her. Madam, this was no coincidence. It was a trap set for you. Who did it? Powerful figures disturbed by the Shakunatala construction case. They tried to quietly eliminate you. Who are they? We're still investigating, but according to information we got from Pemba Sherpa, very big money was involved. Was Pemba arrested? Yes, both him and Tenzin, and the company owner Raj Shakunatala is also in custody. Sushila was relieved but also shocked, so she was really risking her life to ensure justice. Colonel Saheb, I must definitely conclude this case. This murder attempt shows what dimensions injustice has reached. Madam, your security will now be more tightly protected. Such attempts may be repeated. When they arrived in Kathmandu, media and family were waiting. Priya hugged her crying. Mom, I was so scared. Where were you? My daughter, I'm safe now, and I will continue my fight against injustice. A week later was the decision day for the Shakunatala construction case at Nepal Supreme Court. Media showed intense interest. When Sushila took the judge's bench, the hall was packed. Everyone was eagerly waiting for the decision. The decision of our court in the case against Shakunatala Construction Company is as follows. The hall was in silence. The defendant company and its executives have been found guilty of corruption worth billions of rupees, environmental pollution, human rights violations, and organized crime. The hall erupted. Some were applauding, some were protesting. Company owner Raj Shakunatala is sentenced to 15 years imprisonment and 500 million rupees fine. All activities of the company are stopped. Its assets are transferred to the state. Also, for the crime of attempted murder against this court president, Tenzin Sherpa is sentenced to 10 years, Pemba Sherpa to 8 years imprisonment. Applause filled the hall. That evening, Sushila was on her home balcony, looking at the Himalayan mountains and thinking. She now knew she was ready to pay any price for justice. Those terrible days she spent in the mountains had made her stronger. Her phone rang. Unknown number. Hello? Congratulations, Sushila Karki. You won this battle, but the war isn't over yet. Who are you? You'll find out soon. But know this, Shakunatala was just a small fish. The real big fish are still in the sea. The line went dead. Sushila smiled. Let them come, whoever they are. What she learned in the Himalayan mountains was this. Struggling with difficulties made her stronger. Every obstacle, every danger, every fear she faced in the mountains had made her more determined. She was no longer afraid of any threat, because she knew that justice was higher than even the world's highest mountains. And those difficult days she spent in the Himalayan mountains had taught Sushila Karki not only to survive, but also that she could fight even her strongest enemies,